If I can't have you, I will burn the whole world. And no, this is not an exaggeration, nor a threat meant for anyone else. It is the confession of a man who has lived his entire life with crowns and titles, palaces and armies, yet realized that all of it is nothing but ash without the warmth of your hand in mine. They taught me from birth that power is the highest throne, that kingdoms are the truest treasures. But I learned it through you that a single heartbeat can outweigh an empire. You see, I have tried to silence the storm inside me. I have stood in halls of gold, smiled before thousands, and carried the weight of traditions that go back centuries. But when I return to my chamber, when the doors close, and the silence swallows the grandeur, I realize what I am without you: hollow, fractured, incomplete. And in those hours, I whisper your name like a prayer, as though even the walls must know that my existence belongs to you. If I can't have you, then what use are palaces built of marble? What use are the armies who salute me, or the banners carrying my name? I would trade every jewel, every throne, every decree written in my favor, just for the simplicity of holding you when the night is heavy and the world is cruel. Tell me, what good is a kingdom when the king's heart is somewhere else, locked inside the soul of a woman he cannot let go? I am not ashamed of this madness, for it is the purest truth I have ever known. Love, when it is real, is not gently as fire. It consumes, it demands, it scars. And mine for you is no quiet flame. It is an inferno that would rather burn the whole world than let another man look at you the way I do. Because you are not just a woman I love. You are my only compass, my only sanctuary, the only proof that beneath the layers of duty, there still beats a man who can feel, who can dream, who can bleed. So yes, if I cannot have you, I will set fire to every lie that kept us apart. I will shatter the walls built by tradition, by society, by fear. I will reduce the world to ashes if that is what it takes to carve a path to you. Because you are not a choice. You are not an option, you are destiny. And destiny is not something you negotiate with, it is something you claim, even if the heavens themselves must tremble. Darling, tell me, would you still fear my love if you knew the empire I am willing to give up for your smile? Would you still doubt me if you saw how I kneel before your memory, how I whisper to the air, as if it carries your presence back to me? I am a prince to the world, a ruler to my people, but to you, I want to be nothing more than a man who aches, who burns, who lives entirely because you exist. If I can't have you, then let the world collapse, for without you, it already has. These words are not born of anger, nor of cruelty. They are the reflection of a love so absolute, so consuming, that without you, every dawn feels like a funeral, and every night is nothing but a graveyard of dreams. I have worn crowns heavy enough to break lesser men, I have walked among kings and warriors, and yet none of them know what I know, that power without love is dust, and life without you is worse than death. They call me a prince, a ruler, a symbol of strength, but strip it all away, and you will see nothing more than a man standing on trembling ground, desperate for the only soul who has ever made him feel alive. You are not a chapter in my life, you are the entire book. Every victory, every battle I have won, feels empty if I cannot turn and see you there, waiting for me. The world tells me, I must choose duty, I must serve the crown, I must honor bloodlines older than history itself. But how do I bow to duty when my heart kneels only to you? How do I pretend loyalty to a kingdom when all I want is to be loyal to the woman whose name has become my prayer, whose memory lingers in every breath I take? They call me heartless, unshaken, untouchable, but if they saw me in the quiet of night, when your absence bleeds into my veins like poison, they would know the truth. I am already broken. And yet, it is in that brokenness that I have found the sharpest edge of love. You see, real love does not whisper, it roars. It does not ask politely, it demands, it devours, it claims. Mine for you is no gentle stream, it is a raging fire, that will consume every barrier that dares to stand between us. They tell me to move on, to let go, to find another. But how do you let go of oxygen? How do you move on from the only soul who has ever looked into your eyes, and seen not a prince, not a ruler, but simply a man flawed, human, longing? If I can't have you, then let the palaces crumble, let the crowns rust, let the world scream in protest. For what use are empires, if the man at their center feels nothing but emptiness? What use are armies, if they cannot march me back into your arms? I would burn down every hall of marble, every tradition written in stone, every name carved into history if it meant it. Do you know what it means to be haunted? Not by ghosts, but by the living memory of someone who still walks this earth yet feels impossibly far away. I see your face in strangers. I hear your laughter in the echoes of empty rooms. I feel your touch in the silence, where nothing but longing remains. And each time I realize it is not you, each time I wake from the dream, the fire inside me grows hotter, wilder, more dangerous. Because I know one truth I cannot escape: you are mine. You were written into my soul before I ever took my first breath, and if I cannot have you, then I have no reason to hold this world intact. So hear me now, not as a ruler, not as a prince, but as a man who has nothing left to lose. If I cannot have you, I will burn the whole world. I will tear down every lie that dared to tell us we could not belong to each other. I will fight heaven itself if it dares to stand in my way. I will bring kingdoms to their knees, if that is what it takes to prove to you that my love is not a fleeting desire, it is eternal, it is unshakable, it is the very marrow of my being. And if fire must be the language of my devotion, then let the world turn to ash. Because, my love, I was not made for a throne. I was made for you. These words sound like madness to those who have never felt love consume them. But to me, they are not madness, they are the truth etched in my veins, the fire that fuels every heartbeat. I was born into a world of rules, crowns, and duties, but none of those things matter when compared to the thought of losing you. The throne, the kingdom, the legacy, all of it would mean nothing if you were not standing by my side. People think love is gentle, a soft whisper in the night, but they do not know how violent it becomes when fear and longing mix together. For me, love is a storm, and you are the lightning that splits the skies. Without you, there is no sky, no earth, no reason to exist. That is why I say, without hesitation, if I can't have you, I would rather set fire to everything that tries to keep us apart. Do you know what it feels like to be worshipped by millions, and yet still feel empty? To hear people chant your name, but in your heart crave the whisper of only one voice, yours. Every time I stand before crowds, every time the palace walls echo with honor and glory, all I can think of is how hollow it all feels when I return to my chambers, and you are not there. Love has stripped me bare, left me powerless, yet stronger than I have ever been. I no longer care for titles, for the golden chains of nobility. The only crown I want is your heart resting in my hands, even if the world burns around us. They can call me reckless, selfish, even dangerous, but they will never understand that it is not destruction I seek, it is you. And if destruction is the price of your love, then let the world fall into ashes. There are nights when I imagine the impossible, walking away from the palace, shedding the robes of royalty, and leaving behind the history written for me. In those dreams, it is only you and me. No cards. No advisors. No expectations. Just two souls bound by something stronger than law or bloodlines. But then the morning comes, and reality crashes down like an iron gate. They tell me who I can love, who I must marry, what duty demands. But tell me, my love, what is duty when compared to destiny? And what is destiny if it does not include you? If I can't have you, I will burn destiny itself and rewrite it with my own hands, for I refuse to bow to a life where you are not mine. Every forbidden glance between us is a secret war. Every brush of your hand against mine feels like rebellion. They don't see it, but I doubt the universe tilts every time you walk into the room. My blood knows you. My soul recognizes you. And that is why I cannot, will not, surrender you to fate or to anyone who dares to claim you. If the heavens try to keep us apart, then let me pull the stars down and scatter them at your feet. If men try to steal you away, then let them know my wrath will be merciless. I am not a man when it comes to you, I am an inferno, uncontrollable and relentless. And if I must reduce kingdoms to dust, I will, because without you, what is there worth saving? Even now, I hear the whispers of betrayal. They say I am blinded by desire, that I am unfit to lead because I place my heart above the throne. Perhaps they are right. But let me ask you, what is leadership? What is royalty? If it costs me the only soul I was born to love, I would rather be a king without a kingdom, holding your hand in exile, than a king sitting on a gilded throne with an empty heart. They want me to choose between you and the world. They forget I already have. The world means nothing without you. That is why, if I can't have you, I will not hesitate to burn the very world they offer me. Tell me, shall I be patient, or shall I be ruthless? Shall I wait for the chains of duty to loosen, or shall I break them myself? Because without you, this world means nothing to me. Every palace, every kingdom, every throne would feel like ashes in my hands if you are not there to hold them with me. I do not crave the crown if your lips will not whisper my name. I do not crave the empire if your eyes will not meet mine in the silence of the night. You must understand, you are not just a chapter in my life, you are the very ink with which my story is written. And if the pages are stolen from me, if the book is torn apart, then I will set fire to everything that remains, because nothing is worth keeping if it does not hold you within it. You know what it feels like to touch glory, yet feel empty. To hear people bow, yet crave the softness of one woman's voice. That is me. That is what I have become. They say a man with power should never beg, but here I stand on my knees in my heart because power without you is a curse, and I would rather burn in flames than live in heaven where your absence haunts me.